Greetings everyone, welcome back to my video. So we are gonna perform a crude operation now. That is, we are gonna create post, edit post and delete post. So but without using auth. That is, there will be no authentication of the user for now. We might be adding that feature for later. So initially, let's create a new file for a form holding the form. Let's name it create.link.php, which must reside under the blog. So what we are going to do to this is we are going to extends layouts the master and name section title create section again content which holds the content which holds content. So let's create a section static post. Let's put it inside a container wrapper. So what we need is we need a form. So in order to display this form, we need to create a route initially. Let's head over to web.php where we are going to register our route. So what we are going to do now is the route is going to be a get request static post slash create. So post controller yes. So we are going to name create. We have not created this form method yet. We are going to do post. So let's create this method in our controller, post controller. So let's open public function. Now what will this function do? Now this function will redirect our user to this view. Return view blog.create. Let's see. Post slash create. Not found. It's saying not found. Return view blog.create. Let's see. blog.create.link.php. Post slash create. My bad. This. What happened right now is this route was being hit, so the function was looking in the database for the create ID in the database, which was not found, so it was resulting into a 404, which resides under this. See, as you can see, this is doing finder fair post. So we have readjusted our route so that it will sort initial address. If not, if the second parameter doesn't matches, then it will go over here in just a second. Okay, that's good. So let's put a card over here, card, so that we can get nice little thing. Now we're gonna put a shadow. See, giving a shadow. Now let's add our card here and name it string dot create post. Create post. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna just add some margin over here. Margin 5. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to create some inputs. So for creating some inputs, we need to initially create a form and an action. So what will this action be? And so we need to submit this action to route post.store. So that's route post.store, and we need to create some inputs over here. let's create our input by using Bootstrap input. So label for title, text title, similarly for input text, and let's name it name post underscore title. We don't need ID, we need placeholder. Placeholder intro post title. We don't need a value. That's it. So we are gonna need a class over here. Just tag it. Let's name the class on control. Let's see. On control. So what we need to do next is we need a body for this, and we are gonna name it text area with font text underscore let's say description text description. Let's name it placeholder control post description slash content. Let's add a class over here of control. As you can see, so it's nice. Now what we are gonna add next is we are gonna add a height for this height of 5. Now let's add a radio button. We need a radio button or a select button for stating whether a post is being published or dropped. So let's create select button. I think select is nice. Status. Create a select name of post underscore status and class of all, and in inside option we need to add some value. So we are gonna add 0 for draft and similarly 1 for static published. By default it will be draft publish. You can see it's working very nice. Let's add let's add an input button for select. Let's name this select class of UTM so currently it is working since I have already created a host controller stored over here, which is also validating our data, but the names are not matching. So we are gonna fix that after a couple of later. We will fix that later. So let's see. The form is looking nice. Do we need another form field? Okay, let me check. Let me check for another form field. Questions post. So we have done status, description, title. We don't need timestamp as Laravel automatically fills the created and updated at field when creating and updating, vice versa. So what we need to do next is we are gonna need to put a CSRF field over here and a method of post. We are creating a post request. So what we need to do next is we need to validate the inputs. Since we have already validated over here, as you can see in our controller, we have already validated the data over here in this way. So we need to display the result, that is the errors. So what we can do is error post underscore title in error, which is a great syntax for displaying the error. With what it does is behind the hook it checks for errors by doing by checking error for name in this way behind the scenes. So this makes our work easy. We don't need to type if and now we can do if invalid feedback. And what we can do is we can just echo the message. Message. Let me check. I'm gonna copy this over here so that we can do it for post description as well. Description. What we need to do next is we are gonna add some effect when the create post is invalid. I will add that after a while. Okay, let's fix this validation. Let's fix the validation. Post underscore type. Let's see. Submit. Let me check the error. Whether it is displaying the error or not. Yes, it is displaying the error in the elements. There is a problem with Bootstrap. I don't know why, but what we need to do in order to display that error is head over to master.get.php. Inside the head tag, add style and target the invalid feedback and add display. Yeah. Now it will work. Submit. The post title field is required. So it's displaying the error. So what we need to add next is we just need to add I'm gonna add a here right into our class and I'm gonna check error post underscore title. So what I'm gonna echo is if there is an error, then I'm just gonna echo what I'm gonna add now is I'm gonna add is invalid over here. Is invalid over here. Let's copy this in our other classes as well. I'm gonna format it so that you can see easily. Let's name it description. Okay, let's save it, refresh it and submit. So we have a nice little custom effect highlighting is invalid. This is provided by Bootstrap. So there is nothing new in this. I've done nothing in this. Yes. It is already been provided by Bootstrap. So we are validating the data. So let's post this data into our database. Let's check it whether we can create a new post or not. Let's say the data being checked and the post is being created. Let's press it over here. Let's replicate this for a while. I'm gonna store it into publish. Submit. Integrity constraint violation, not now. Okay, I forgot to do a thing. So there is an error over here. So we have not put the free label field in our model. There was an error over here since the column in the database is not post underscore title, it is just title. I need to replace this. I did a mistake before. I need to replace this one title since I changed the name to this. So let's check it now. Continue. Okay. The validated data are being checked and the post is being created. The post is created fine. Nice. As you can see, the post is created nicely. So the create functionality is nicely done. So the second part will be we are gonna edit this post. So we need to do a couple of things for this. We are gonna create some test initially and we are gonna create some methods in the controller. So that will be our next video. Thank you. Have fun. Enjoy. What's up guys, welcome back. Previously we have created a create functionality for our post. So in this video we are gonna create edit functionality in our post for editing our post. So we are gonna follow the TDW test driven workflow. So initially we are gonna create the test and we are gonna create the method later. So let's head over into our test test.php. So we are gonna create a new test over here. So let's check our previous test right now. Let's see whether anything goes wrong or right. Okay, the test is being failed over here. The title field is required. See, we have changed controller, so the test are being failed. As you can see, we changed the post underscore title over here. So what we need to do now is we are gonna change the errors over here. We need to change that so that the title works fine. So let's see in which line 69 we are getting an error in line 69. That's the title field is required. Let's fix the post underscore title. The post title field is required. Let's see, let's run our test. Okay, we are getting an error in line 53 as well. So if we go where post has been created, so post data, so our data is not correct. So we need to fix that by sending the right formatted title, post underscore title. Let's fix that. Let's see. So another test is also failing, but this is the last test that is failing for now. It returns validation error for the title stating required. So this test is failing. It returns the validation error for title stating required. So what is failing right here? It's also the same, post underscore title, post underscore title, post title field is required. Let's see. So we have fixed the test for now. So what we are going to do next is we are going to create a new test over here for adding new, for updating our existing post. So let's name it is added to update on existing post So what we need to do now is initially we need to create a post. So what I'm using the factory. So what we can do is you can simply do this post factory. So it's gonna create a single post. So now next I'm gonna create a hook to update that post slash post double quotes slash double post dash ID and send the post data. So I'm gonna replace the post data with this, the existing post data with this. So this that's post data. So let's assert that let's assert it returns okay. Let's assert that it returns 302. It will redirect. It should redirect actually. What I'm going to do is assert status 302, and let's check our database as well. Whether this yes assert database has post, so ID of 1 and title. Okay, just copy this. Okay, you see the test is gonna fail by the way, since we have not created anything like this. And then you can see the test is actually gonna fail since there is no method available. Also, there is no route. So let's fix that by heading over to our web.php. Let's head into here, and what I'm gonna do is route it slash post controller class. So it's gonna be update. The method is that input is gonna be update. Post. Now let's move into our controller, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a new route for so what it's gonna asset it requires post post. This will do a find or fail for the existing post. If it fails, it will result to a 404. So next is we need request post. So we also need to validate the existing data. So I can just simply do this. I can simply just copy this. So since the validation will be the same for now, maybe later it may require the changes for validation. So what I'm gonna do now is I will just copy this for now, and I will refactor it later. So next I need is post plus update. We are taking the existing post and updating it. So I'm copying this and updating over here. So once the post is updated, I'm also returning to the index page. Post has been updated. You can simply remove it. So if the validation passes, the post will be updated. Once updated, it will redirect to our post index page where setting the slash session to post has been updated. So I can now simply run the test. I hope it passes. Okay, as you can see, the test passes successfully. So as you can see, the test has already passed successfully. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna refactor this validation method. Let's comment refactoring validation. And now I'm gonna create a private function validate post data. So now we are going to refactor the validation for creating and updating a post. Since this set of codes are pretty much the same, so we can refactor this in this way. So what we are going to do this now is by creating a return function which will accept post. The request is a global function provided by Laravel. We are getting the request by using help of the global function instead of doing this. So what you can do now is you can validate the same things over here. I'm just going to copy this. So now what we can do is we can delete this and we can simply create a new variable called validated data and assign it this as validated post data. So this now we are calling this function over here. So next what we are gonna do is we are gonna replace this request by using this validated data. So I'm gonna comment this and write a new line of post as update validated equals to dollar validated data of post underscore title. Similarly for I'm gonna copy this and dollar validated data. So now we can delete this request over here. So if we run our test will run fine. As you can see, our tests are running fine. Similarly, we can also replace this set of data over here too. So let's copy this. I'm gonna comment this and paste a new set of line here, as you can see. But we are gonna paste this update with create, since we are creating a new so I'm gonna post. As you can see, if I run the test now again once again, as you can see the test passes. What's next? So next what we are gonna do next is we are gonna add two tests in our post test.php for validating whether the views are correct or not. So let's create a new function. Test. Let's name it public function test. It returns post. Let's name this and let's see. What we want to do now is we want to validate that, verify that the view we get over here is the correct view. That is this view. In this case, we need the create.let.php. So how we can do that is simply we can do $this dash get slash post slash create and assert view is blog.create. So it's simply this. Now let's run the test. So it passes, as you can see. We are getting the correct view. Similarly, I will copy this for the edit view as well. We need to create the edit view as well for editing the post. So let's name it edit. But if we name this edit for now, so what we now need to do is we need to know the post. We need to create a new post in order to edit our post. So for that I'm going to do post factory and create a post. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna change this to double quote and add a parameter over here. So this will be our post. So we are creating a new post and we are trying to edit the post which we will finding by the ID into the edit. So this test is gonna fail since we have not created our route and the related edit.php. So let's head into our web.php and create a new route over here. So route git slash post slash post slash edit. So what we can make is post dot and pass the controller over here, post controller class of. Let's save it. So let's move into our controller and create a new function over here. Public function edit. So return new block dot edit. So this set of code will return our view to the blog edit. But what we need to do now is we need to accept the parameter and search for the post. So what we have done over here in the show method is we have simply did this bind our parameter into this like this. So we are going to do the same as we are searching our post by ID. So what we can do is simply we can do post by post. So now I'm going to pass this post value into our view, naming the variable post. Let's save it. Now if we run the test, it's gonna show an error since we have not created the. So it's gonna fail. The response is not a view since the response is not a view. So let's create our view inside the block. Let's add it. So I'm gonna create. I'm just gonna copy the same as the create and paste it in the git. So let's save it for them and just test it. So our test passes successfully. Our test is passing successfully. So what's next? Next we need to display the value which was existing in our database into the form. Now if we go inside a post, that is, let's say 1/edit, and we are getting a create post. So let's say if you go to a non-existing post that is 101, it will show 404 not found. Since this set of code is working, it is doing find or fail. If the data is found in the database, it results over here, else it will result to 404. It's resulting into about 404. So we are gonna modify the edit page.php. So simply we can do what we can do is edit a post. Let's say edit post. By setting the post to edit the post and naming it edit post. And similarly, what we can do now is we are not returning our route to post.store, but we are returning it to post.update, which will need a parameter over here. So for that, what we can do is I'm gonna pass the parameter is $post as d. Let's save it and refresh. Sorry, it's gonna be refreshed. Okay. It's working. Now if we go over here, and we are gonna add a value in this input field. And let's name the value post as we are just gonna check, else we are gonna leave it empty since the post title might be empty sometime. Similarly, what we are gonna do is we are gonna copy this into the text area as well, into the post description. So it's gonna be description. This is a ternary operator which will initially what we'll do with this tool that we have seen is we can just do this post as title equal post title. It's been doing this as this. So it's a shorthand form of this, as you can see. So let's save it, refresh. So it's displaying the description. So what I need to do here is the text area input of HTML does not contain the value. So what I need to do is I'm gonna put it inside the text area. Save it and refresh it. This is the true news. So the spaces are being so due to this. As you can see, it's fixed now. Next one, what we need to do is we need to change the status of our post. Whether since it is published correctly, it is not draft. So what we need to do here over here is we need to check whether the post is draft or published. So simply what we can do is we can set up a check variable like this so that the selected variable it's selected. We just need to echo it. So initially what we need to do is we need to compare over here. So what I'm going to do is let's not create one. Let's do it with journal operator. Let's do post as status is true, then display check, else display none. So simply this is the way to do it. Let's save it. Let's see what's happening over here. Okay, my bad. What I have done here is I'm just checking for the true value and I'm doing over here. So what I need to do here is if it is not, then we need to check over here. If it is true, then we need trying to do what is good. I need to put it selected. And we see it's been changed. Now if we submit this, the post method is not for this route. Support methods get head put. So we need to update the post by using put method. Put or patch method are used for updating a set of fields into our database. So what we can do here is we have a syntax of Laravel or method and set it to simple. If you refresh it and submit it again, it has been updated successfully. But there are no messages we have set. We are going to set it later. So let's update our post. Let's see. Joe Biden has won the election. This is a true news typecasted. So we are going to say this was did submit it. As you can see, this post was updated a while ago. It's being updated successfully. Now if we run our test, then as you can see, the tests are also running fine. So in the next video, we are gonna refactor this form as we are doing the same thing in both the create.page.php and edit.page.php. Only few things are different. So we are going to tweak it and fix it. Since the set of form elements are same in both the cases, and also some classes are also same, so we are going to fix that in the next coming video. So now we are going to refactor the form. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to create a new file named form.create.php. So I'm gonna copy the content of edit.blade.php, all the contents starting from div from group to the button except the form. So I'm going to copy this and paste it inside the form.data.php. So now I'm going to include this into the data.php. Include log. So let's save it and add into our edit. Let's see, it's been displayed correctly. So this include is a function. It's a syntax provided by Blade, which is doing this behind this. Include log. So this is what it is doing behind the scenes, as you can see. So now what we need to do next is I'm gonna do next is simply include the same in the create as well. So let's delete this everything over here and include it over here as well. Include so if we save it and run our test, the test is gonna fail instantly. There is an error over here. So what is the error? The response is not a view, as you can see. Now if we go over here to create, we are gonna see some error. The undefined variable post. So what it means? Now if we head over into our post controller, we have assigned our variable name post by searching it. But in the create method, we are not passing the variable post. So this is the error, undefined variable post. Now if we head over here and add post over here and pass the variable by using compact, let's save it and refresh it, it's gonna work. So we fix it somehow. So next what we need to do is we have already checked whether the post exists or not. So it is working fine. So we have completely refactored our form easily, as you can see. If we try to create a new post, or simply if we run our test, the tests are working fine. And if we try to create a new post, let's say this is the post created and using let's copy and paste it over and set it to draft for now. Let's submit it. Now we are not gonna see our post over here since it is stored in draft. Now if we hit our post, let me see, it's 5. So it's the ID of 5. We are going and we are publishing it the post. Submit. This is the post created using refactored code. It is being created successfully. Now if we try to edit it as well, so let's set it to code edit. Let's submit it. As you can see, the post is being updated successfully. Next, what we are gonna do now is we are gonna, since manually searching guessing the ID and exiting and deleting is actually not a realistic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into our show and I'm gonna add a button over here so that it will be easier for us to go into the link. So head over to show.let.php inside the blog and create a footer over here under the card body. So let's name it card first, and let's create 2 buttons over here, namely starting with A, where, and maybe it. Adding the class name between of success. So in the route we are going to use this route post dot and another add a new button as well for deleting the post as well. And set it to delete and over here destroy. So this set of line is completely throw an error here since the route doesn't exist, as you can see over here. Sorry, I forgot to pass the parameters over here. So what I'm going to do is post equals to post t, similarly over here as well. Save it. So route post.destroy is not defined. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to comment this line for now. Okay, as you can see it did. Now let's align this at the right. Let's see that's right. It's nice if you go press edit, it's working fine. As you can see, it's working fine. Next, what we need to do now is we are gonna create the delete method for deleting a post. So let's get into our test.php and add a test. Let's copy this one for now. Public function test, it returns, let's name it is able to delete an existing post. So what we are gonna do over here is we are gonna create a post and we will delete it. For deleting it, what we can do is delete. So post / post. So assert and redirect and let's say assert status related, but it will have a flash session. Assert station as message post check. Let's see. Okay. And the test is gonna fail again since we have not created any methods and route. As you can see, the test is failing. So let's head into our web.php and create a new route over here. Route delete /post/ and assign the controller over here. Post controller is of this poster. So we have successfully created a delete route over here. Now let's go into our post controller and create a new method over here under the edit. Public function destroy. So this destroy is going to accept the parameter of our post. So we are also doing find or fail over here. So what we are going to do now is post plus delete. So this function will instantly delete the post. If post is found, it will delete, else it will result into 404 as before. Now next we are going to redirect to route of post.index with a message stating post has been deleted. Save it and run our test. Now if we run our test, so it is failing currently. Okay, I forgot to add ID over here. And if you run our test, post has been deleted. I forgot to put a full stop. Let's run our test. So the test is working fine, as you can see. So let's implement our deleting post into our show.later.php. So we are gonna uncomment this line and we are gonna head into this post. So the delete button is available now. So let's create a new post so that we can delete it. Delete. This post is created. Copy it and publish it. So this post is created to be deleted. If we press the delete button, okay, it is not working. It is not working because post has post ID. Let's post this story. It is not working. This post is created to be deleted. So what I did wrong was I was trying to delete the post by using a get request, but instead I need a delete request. So that's why the test was passing successfully, but our links were not working. So this is a get request over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new form over here. Let's name the form action and ask it to this route over here, as you can see. So we are going to pass few things over here. We are going to pass method of delete and CSR token and a button. Now we can copy this now and then cut it and paste it over here and uncomment it. So as you can see, so this is our submit button. So simply I will do is input type equals to submit of return and input. So it's going to be like this. And putting the value of submit. So if we refresh it and submit it, now it doesn't work. So if we refresh and submit it, so what I forget to do right over here was I forget to add a method post over there. So this method delete was not being replaced. That's why the error was showing. As you can see, if I head into our post and okay, let's see what we can delete. This is my first course. If I submit it, it's been deleted successfully, as you can see. If we head into our database and search for it, let's see. Browse data post. As you can see, the post has been deleted successfully. So next, what we can do is it is been deleted successfully. Let's name the value to let's see this one deleted. Yes. Next, what we can do is we can set a message over here. Alert message. Let's see alert message. So head into our master.plate.php and we are gonna create. Let's see what we can do. So simply what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a content and create a couple of things. Let's see. Alert. Yes. Success. Let's see. Let's see. So we are generating a success message over here. Simply, so what we can do now is we can check if the new contents or not. What we can do is so what we can do here is if session has a message, then we are going to display this. Else don't display the message. So if we refresh over here, that this is done. Okay, hidden. So simply what we are gonna do now is we are gonna add the message over here. Alright. Let's see. Session. So what we are gonna do now is session input. Save it and head over here and try to delete something. Let's see, we delete the last post. Delete. Okay, the post has been deleted successfully. So if we refresh it again, the message is gone since the session has already expired, since this is only generated through a flash session. So in order to clean this up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new file over here. Let's create a new file. Yes, it's getting components and create a new file. And copy this part of code and paste it over. So now what we can do is include components. Now if we test it out, okay, let's create a new post. Post has been created, as you can see. So while we have added this into our master terminal.php is this alert message is going to show in every single file, since every single file is extending this master.later.php. So this is the code operation we have created successfully. Next, what we are gonna do is the pages are gonna be so long, too long. So what we can do is the posts we have created is just gonna stack over here infinitely. All the posts are gonna stack over here. So what we can do is we can head into our controller, into our index, and we can just add a new function over here called paginate. We can simply add paginate. How many posts we need to paginate? That is, let's add 2 over here. And if you save and refresh, only 2 posts are gonna show. So there are no pagination links over here. So if we add 1 over here, only single post is gonna show, which is the latest post by using this function. So I'm gonna set it to 2 for now and head into our index.plate.php inside the block. And what we can do is into the load mode. See, over here, road name. I'm gonna add purpose as where links doesn't exist. Let's see. So this function is provided by Laravel. So what we can do is, okay, so it's links only. Okay. If we refresh over here, the links are gonna show. So these links are pretty messed up. So we can fix this. As you can see, the links are working properly. So it only contains 4 posts, which are up to. The links are pretty messed up since the styling in Laravel 8, Laravel has changed its CSS scaffolding to tailwind CSS. So it is styled in tailwind, but we need a bootstrap. So what we can do to fix that is, as you can see, it's the tailwind CSS over here. So we need the bootstrap. So what we can do is, if you hit over here, there are a few ways to customize it. As you can see, using Bootstrap. So if we need to set the paginator to use Bootstrap. So if we go, we need to do this in the app service provider. So the app service provider is inside the blog app providers, app service provider inside the boot. So paginator use Bootstrap. Save it, and we need also include it within it. Pagination / pagination. Let's save it and refresh it. So the links are now styled according to Bootstrap. So this is a pretty useful function which we are going to add in app service provider. So the links are now working fine and styled properly according to Bootstrap. And you can see it is working fine. So now I'm gonna set this to 5, a maximum 5 posts. 5, so that since we have increased the 5, there are only 4 posts currently, as you can see. So it's not gonna get the pagination link. So the links are only gonna show if the posts are above 5, as we have used 5 over here. Finally, we have successfully completed our code preparation for our post. So all the codes I have successfully put in my GitHub repository, which is given in the description below. If you have any questions and problem, you can always comment down in the description. So this is it. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below for more upcoming videos and courses.